you guys ready? I certainly know that I am. Let's get into it, Echo.
Let's get into it. And we have Tingy coming in from ESL, and he's coming in with the hybrid against Agent 33 out of Spacestation Gaming. We got that Queen Walk starting nice and early on the eastern side of the base with that super wall breaker opening that multi-target compartment. Getting in there is going to allow a lot of access. You have the Inferno Tower, the Warden Pedestal, the Scatter Shot, lowering the Clan Castle. So let's see. We have another super wall breaker coming in. Will it make it to the wall? It does, and that's going to give access to the Town Hall as well. So far, Tingy is getting some good value. Let's see how far this Queen charge can actually go. That's the question. We can open walls, but can the Queen stay up? Can it deal with the Lava Hound CC with the poisoners coming in? And if so, it's a pretty good start in Verum.
It is. I have been totally open and vocal about my absolute love of the Queen charge. I think it is one of the, I would say, one of the most delicate strategies we see here. You're not throwing a sledgehammer at the problem. You're using a scalpel. It is a fine tool that you have in your arsenal. There are sometimes it's good to use it, sometimes they're not, and it's getting a ton of value right now, still staying up, and I think it's going to be able to take down this Town Hall as well as the Grand Warden, the Eternal Tome, and the Hogs, and the crew, the miners are all charging on in from the top here. The hybrid is in full effect, and they're doing a lot of work. The King, unfortunately, aggroing that single target Inferno, and that might actually be a bit of a problem. We'll see how that ends up playing out here as the freeze and is going to go in the heals as well to keep these Hogs in good shape.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tingy was confident that the Queen would take out that Town Hall and make her way down because he went in early with those Hogs and Miners. He did not wait. About around the 2-minute mark, he sent all that in. Now you have another super wall breaker coming in, so those Barbarians could take down the Scatter Shot. That was such a nice play on the back end around 3 o'clock. But there's a lot of base left, and there are not a lot of troops left to take it down. The Queen goes down to that Inferno, and quickly things end, and it's just grabbing some percentage. I mean, a nice Queen charger started out, but the hybrid, it can only take so much damage. Even when being healed, there's only so much it could deal with. And, Scatter Shot, giant bombs, bunch of defenses, it had to deal with all that.
That was just all the traps. Everything was just perfectly set up to deal with that. The way these defenses were laid out by Agent 33, that was really solid. I thought for a second that attack was going to do really, really solid. And one of these situations where you blink and you miss it, all of a sudden you see a horde of troops in there. All the health bars are overlapping. Like, I think they look okay. And then all of a sudden, like, one giant bomb goes off. I'm like, oh no, they're gone. That's it. He's dead, Jim. And that's it. Man, Tingy, an okay start, but given how many 3-stars, how many triples we've seen over the course of these wars, Spacestation Gaming's got to be grinning after that one.
Yeah, I mean, haven't you learned already not to blink during these attacks? We always miss things when we blink during these attacks, but you're right. ESL NA having to settle for the 2-star, 71% on that one. And, well, let's see how Space Station answers. Are they going to come out strong like they did in their previous war and try and get that early lead? Or is this going to be a tight match throughout? I don't know. I'm excited to see. And I know you are too.
Yes. Absolutely, Echo. I mean, we've talked about it. We've talked about how hyped we are. Maybe less hyped to see another hybrid, but we're doing it. We're going in there. We're seeing more. Curious what's going to come out of the Siege Barracks. Probably more Hogs, but maybe Valkyries, because you know what? Valkyries are cool. We saw it once, and I just want to the spin. I'm all about that life.
I mean, I do love Valkyries, but I would guess that there's going to be Hog Riders coming out of this one. The Valkyries, you kind of want to get them inside of the base so that they could tear things up in the core rather than clean up things on the outside. But right now, he has a nice break in. Another wall breaker coming as well from 6 o'clock.
And nice balloons.
Balloons, helping take out defenses, also clearing the skies so those healers can go in unharmed. You want to keep those healers up when your Queen is charging. When you make that investment in the 5 healers, if your Queen goes down, it's investment wasted. Well, of course, unless they transfer over to your Miners and Hogs. But right now, the Clan Castle lore is a thing. 2 Ice Golem and a bunch of archers popping out of there. She has to deal with the Scatter Shot, though, and the King, he's hightailing it up to the eastern side of the base so he can meet up with his girl, the P.E.K.K.A, and all the wizards coming out of that siege barrack. I love how Jethro waited right there for the King to protect the siege barrack so it wouldn't be targeted, getting all that wizard value. And here comes the hybrid in Verum right for that Town Hall.
Oh, absolutely. This attack is looking solid. Part of the reason I was so excited about those early balloons is because not only did it aggro the single target Inferno for the Queen, so she only had to use the one rage. It also baited out those air mines. Just once you know an attack's going to start like that, barring anything going crazy, the rest of it's going to look real good, and it is looking real good right now. Perfect placement on that heal, making sure you're getting the maximum duration out of it, keeping all those hogs inside, and that's exactly what we're seeing. The RC is here. Queen and RC still have abilities. Both of them do. This is looking really solid right now. The multi-target Inferno is sort of one of the last big defenses to deal with. All the scatters are down, and look at the HP bars on these heroes. I think Jethro might have done it again. I think we're looking at another triple.
Yeah, this is looking really nice. And the hybrid actually saved the Queen. She was about to go down with those point defenses, but then the hybrid came in, saved her. She's going to go down. She's not going to go down. She's going to end this attack, not even needing to use that ability. Nearly a minute left on the clock on this one as well. Jethro starting out the war with a triple, using the hybrid with Hog Riders in the barracks, not Valkyries.
I mean, it was the correct decision. And it looked really good. Jethro, another 3-star opener for Spacestation Gaming. They know what they're about. They know how to hit these bases. They're looking practiced, looking like a finely honed edge as they are just slicing through these defenses every single time. ESL NA Cup and Mini Savage have the work cut out for them here as they're facing up against the base of Boone. And this one's, oh man, not looking... I'm curious to get your thoughts on how you'd hit this, because I am unsure. We are going to see the Quad Quake. We are going to see the Yetis and the Bowlers, but this is going to have to be a pretty serious smash.
This is, and I could guarantee you I would 2-star this base. Probably not anything more than that. But he's going in, getting that nice value from the Quad Quake. That's going to allow all the troops to get decently deep inside the base. We do have the jump spell as well on this attack, getting that good award in value. And then basically once this baby dragon's done, he's there, and it's happening right now as I say it. The Yeti, the Bowlers, and we should be seeing the heroes coming in as well, going right into that gaping compartment. You have a lot to deal with in there, but notice the Eagle Artillery is not being targeted yet. Will that be where the blimp goes? No, the blimp is actually going for the town hall. Clan Castle lore, Lava Hound's going to slow down things as well. How are they going to deal with that eagle? They're hoping that the kill squad goes straight on through, takes that jump, goes through the scatter, through the Inferno, and then into the Eagle Artillery. That's a lot to go. It's a long way to go. Let's see if they can get there. They do have a rage spell kind of helping them through, really making those troops go ham. I don't know.
Oh, no.
The Eagle, it's your most feared. Are they going to get it down?
No. Nor the scatter shot, nor the defending royal shit. You asked, and the answer is unequivocally no. Where are you going, troops? Again. Again, AT&T 5G. Get your GPS on track, guys. It's not. It's right there. It's right in the center of the base. X marks the spot. There, it was right there, and now this attack is falling apart. You've still got some heroes up. They're still gonna be able to clean up, a decent amount of structures on the outside, but the key defenses in the middle, they're gonna be standing strong.
Yeah, and those are some strong defenses. 3 of the strong. I mean, there's 2 single target Infernos left. A Scattershot, an Eagle, a defending champion. I mean, you also have to remember that, we have that tornado trap in there, and a lot of times that skews the pathing of a big kill squad. It will take everything in that trap and spin it in a different direction. Then, you kind of get some skelly spells there, get things pathing the wrong way, and it messes up the entire plan. And I can't guarantee that that's what happened on this one, because so much was going on there, but I wouldn't doubt it if it did. And he's coming in with an 80% 2-star, so it's 4 stars to 3, 2 attacks to 1. Good defenses by Spacestation. What are they going to do, though? Are they going to be able to back it up with another triple and try and close things out early? I mean, that's not easy to do, especially against ESL NA, who's been so solid both in attacking and defending.
Yeah, NA Cup up until this point has looked really, really strong, but it's Spacestation Gaming. We can never rule out their ability to just go clutch on a triple. Let's see if they can do it one more time. I looked at that base last time around and I went, how are you going to hit this? And I feel like maybe that was the same response. This time around, I feel like it's a little bit more spread out, maybe a couple more options here, but the funnel with all these trash structures on the outside is going to have to be set perfectly.
Yes, this is a spread out base, and there are some of those, as you call them, maze compartments that kind of lure in the troops. We have Ghost coming in with an Electro Dragon attack. Now, in the last war, we saw Ghost. He came in with the lowest percentage. Right now he doesn't want to be the guy with the lowest percentage. He's coming in right now with the best attack possible, but also in the last war, he had the best defense. holding only to a 1-star as well with his base design. So that was pretty cool. He must have felt good about that. But right now, the queen, she's going to continue setting that funnel. Electro Dragon starting some things up as well. And notice the champion coming in early. Clan Castle Lore is doing a little bit of a splitteroo. We have the E-Drags coming in. It's time for power.
Oh, it is. It is time to ride the lightning. Let's get her done. The rage up, everything. Sweeper is going to be slowing this down a little bit, though. There's the freeze spell. Perfectly timed to get the maximum duration on that, resetting that sweeper there, and they are going to be able to take it out instantly. That was a really nice freeze spell there. Echo, and now with this Eternal Tome and the E-Drags doing work on the Town Hall, it's going to go down. Ooh, timing not quite exact there. So they are going to take that damage from the Giga Bomb. Not the biggest deal in the world. The Stone Slammer's coming in for that Eagle.
Yeah, the Stone Slammer is, but there's still quite a bit of base left. No, yeah. You jinxed it on us right here, and now it's actually, it was going for the Eagle, but now they're on top. They will be able to get the Eagle down. A lot of E-Drags left, but there's quite a bit of base left as well with some air defenses, scatter shots. Target Inferno does just actually go down. Ghost definitely coming out with a better attack than we saw in the last war, but I don't know that there's going to be either enough time or power to get through the rest of the base. We just had one E-Drag go down right there. Look at that minion again, just picking away at those goblins, which is going to definitely tie up those E-Drags a little bit longer. We'll probably be sitting somewhere around the high 70, low 80% on this one, depending on the life left in those Electro Dragons, because only has to deal with a few Archer Towers down here. Definitely going to be a 2, unless if something crazy happens that I would not understand.
No, I think you're correct. I think your long history and experience in Clash of Clans, those instincts, absolutely correct on this one. I would say, yeah, low mid 80s is going to be the final tally with the help of this Grand Warden and, of course, death damage from those E-Drags. But this is actually pretty huge here because not getting another 100, not getting that 3-star is opening the door for ESL NA Cup. This is giving them an opportunity. If they are able to get a 3-star of their own, they are going to be able to bring themselves right back into this in terms of overall percentage. And they're not out of this yet by any stretch. This could still be a highly competitive war.
Yep, it definitely can be. And I guess they heard me saying that I wanted a good, tight war. And we're going to see how this goes. I mean, like we said, that wasn't a triple-triple, so it does open the door a little bit. They do have a star advantage as well as a percentage advantage, but it's early on. We're only 2 attacks in each, 3 more to go. Anything can happen right here. Even 1-stars, we saw that happen in the last war. So, it's too early to predict anything. I just want to see more attacks.
Yes, let's go. Let's not stop. Let's keep this action rolling. Let's get into the next attack. And let's see if this time Foopaloop is going to be able to come in. I'm going to see. These are the names. These are the names that I really enjoy, Echo. Because you get to I get to use silly voices. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I want to hear that voice changer again at some point in time. That was pretty cool earlier on. But he's coming in with the hybrid on this one, only 11 hogs, because the rest of them are most likely in that barracks. Getting the Clan Castle Lore, which is going to be really nice. Getting some good early value. Queen's going to deal with that with no issue. Also taking down the enemy king. But actually didn't take out the entire Clan Castle. There is more inside of there waiting to come on out. But so far, so good with the queen. Got to feel good about the beginning of this. Foopaloop does. I'm sure that he's going to want to try and get on in there with those two super wall breakers. Try and get some value on maybe that town hall, possibly. We'll have to see. Where is the rest of his attack?
That's the big question mark. There's a couple different angles that he could come in here, setting the funnel, wanting to make sure that he gets the value out of this hybrid, because we've seen it in the past. Hybrid, if not set with a beautiful funnel, tend to, go off in their own direction. You want to keep them grouped as much as possible to get the maximum value from that life aura and that Grand Warden supporting them. And also, of course, if you're going to be stacking up these heal spells, if you're going to be getting those down, they need to be in a position where they can maximize that duration of heal. And I actually really like that rage spell placement as well. It caught the healers in it, but also kept the queen in it for quite a long time. But she's not going towards this town hall, which is making me a little bit scared here for Foopaloop. And yes. Yeah.
She's still got her ability. She's getting torn up by the tornado. It's just going to slow her down a little, but she could very well turn back for that town hall. We're going to have to see where she decides to path. The king is running nicely up towards the north, and the siege barrack coming on in. Another wall breaker. Oh, here we go. Coming in. There's the town hall going down, and the scatter shot, and the eagle artillery. Will the queen get the enemy queen? If the enemy queen is distracted, there's the ability. Can she reach?
Yes.
She can reach. Enemy queen goes down, and this is looking decent right now. Our queen, she's getting healed up, trying to get through some wall compartments. Nice job with the heal spell, getting maximum value on the miners and the hog riders as they path on through that scatter shot, which the queen can help out with right here. Does take that down. There is not a ton left. There's 2 single target Inferno towers. Yeah, there we go. All right, and into those compartments, getting a little bit of spread here from the hogs and miners. Are you liking it, or are we worried?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. No. I'm digging. I'm picking up what he's putting down because you still got your heroes in play, and they're all at maximum HP. Your healers are still alive. When I have a checklist, when I look at is this attack going to triple, I sort of go down the line. You still have 2 freeze spells to use. He's going to use one of them now. This is looking so solid for Foopaloop. And this is going to be the triple. This is getting them back in this game. ESL NA Cup, they will not go quietly into this good night. They are not going down without a fight. They are continuing to stand their ground here up against Spacestation Gaming. And now with that triple of their own, they have tied up this star count and they're clawing their way back to parity in terms of percentage.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. It was a really nice hit, and now Space Station has to come back, and we're going to kind of see how this plays out a little bit more once we get even on hits. But I really like that the Queen took a long time. They wanted to lure that Clan Castle Lava Hound out before sending in any of the hogs or miners, so the patience ended up paying off for Foopaloop towards the end of the attack. It was a really beautiful one. And what's coming on in now? Agent 33.
Last time we saw him, he pulled out the triple, so we know what he can do, and we're seeing mass hogs this time. Echo, where do you stand on the mass hog versus hybrid discussion? What do you think about that?
I mean, what I love about Hog Riders is that they're going to pick away the defenses, and they go straight for those defenses. They waste less time on structures that don't matter. The problem is you need to awaken the Town Hall, and you could do that with either taking it out early with the Queen or with an Earthquake spell or sending in a couple of miners or troops that will awaken the Town Hall, but they're definitely more risky. But I know from speaking with Agent that he does value the Hog Riders even more than just the Hogs. He thinks it's a stronger attack if it's done properly. So let's see if he can do it properly against Acid on this base. Now, he does have his Queen charging in, and he's got the scatter shot. He's going to be able to grab the Town Hall if all goes well with this charge with that Queen, and that's going to kind of solidify the fear. That fear is going to be gone of the Hog Riders trying to get the Town Hall without it being activated. So that's going to be nice. Charging right on into it, getting the Clan Castle lore, taking out a scatter, hopefully, because it's not done yet. Partial lore of that CC at least.
Yeah, but getting a little bit of value there. But he did lose one healer. That's the big thing to note here. We'll see if he's going to be able to sustain through this as long as he would have been able to otherwise, because he did lose. He only threw in one Coco Loon, and that might actually cost him if he doesn't have the raw healing up. But okay, he does. He took down the. No, that was sick. He's looking great right now. Agent 33 is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. He used the Queen's ability. He wanted to make sure that he got that Town Hall down because, you know, we're working with Hog Riders like we mentioned already. And here they all come from the southwestern side of the base with the Warden, Eternal Tome being used. They're invincible. The Wizards are coming through to clean up everything behind from that siege barrack. And we're going to see more Hog Riders coming through as well. And yes, that was a nice freeze. And another one being dropped, or was that a heal? A heal spell being dropped as well. Getting through the scatter, healing up the hogs into the single target Inferno. Yeah. There's nothing you could do about those spring traps. There's no counter to those unless if you tank something in front. Yeah, it's a lot of flying pigs.
He did lose. That is a lot of flying pigs. That, as I like to call it, we'll go back to an OG term, the aerial bacon. And, this is still looking really good, though, for Agent 33. There are not a whole lot of defenses left up, and those are still a lot of hogs. Still got the Royal Champion, a free spell, a couple of swag units on the bench, not even joining in the fray. There they go to help clean this up with 35 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be another triple for Agent 30. His name is Agent 33 because all he does is 3.
That's it. That's all he needs is 3 stars. And if you're 3-star, you start winning stuff. And that was beautiful. Even the Queen, who was in some trouble in there when she was charging in, she did make it until the end of the attack. Helped out in the back end, took out a few Tesla. I mean, Hogs look pretty good to me. I mean, we were talking about Hogs versus Hybrid. We've seen Hybrid do well, but those Hogs crush that base.
I think if you can line them up, if you can set them on the right path, they just run it down. Really, really fun to see. Carbon Fin, we've given you quite a war to watch so far. You've got 3 triples, both teams averaging 80% plus and above. But SSG now with 2 triples. If you're on the other side of this, if you're ESL NA Cup 1, what do you do going into these last 2 attacks?
Going into these last 2 attacks, I talked about it right before this war kicked off. You have to take the risks, and they really have to since they're down. If they're not willing to, they're not going to have a chance at advancing because it's one and done. You lose, you're going home.
I love it. This is it. This is the lower bracket. There's no more chances for forgiveness, no more second chances. So let's get into it. Thank you so much, Carbon, for our mid-match meetup. We'll check back in with you at the end for our Xperia highlights. And I want to remind for everybody that just joined, the winner of this match advances to our grand finals for a chance of being our Season 5 champion. 3 months of competition, 4 weeks of open qualifiers, 2 weeks of closed qualifiers, and 3 weeks of playoffs have all led up to this. Echo, this is so close.
This is so close and so exciting as well. I mean, the season as a whole has been amazing. We talked about the gauntlet of a lower bracket, how many solid organization teams were knocked down early on and how difficult it was to go through. So really any team that made it this far along did an amazing job in that gauntlet. And well, let's talk about the attack for a second, which is going to be a Yeti bowler smash. And I noticed in the Twitch chat earlier, someone mentioned I should stop calling this a kill squad. So I'm going to stop calling it a kill squad right now. And it's just the Yeti smash coming on in, taking this base down. Wall Wrecker is coming on in, leading the way. We have Bon MV coming in with this one, and a nice rage on all of those bowlers, which clear things out really quickly as they go on in, being tanked by that Wrecker, trying to make its way. But it looks like the Wrecker did go down, is no longer opening walls, but probably had maybe some more bowlers coming out of that, or maybe some Yeti. Hard to tell.
Yeah, all those health bars are just stacking up on top of one another. The Airmines are going to do some work on the healers, but the Town Hall is down. The Eternal Tome is already utilized. They're going to be taking not only the damage, but the slow as well from that new Town Hall. Well, not even new anymore, that Town Hall 13 Gigabomb. But the Bats are doing work. The Royal Champion actually tanked the scatter shots to allow the Bats to do a lot of damage there. The Wizard Tower did end up taking them down. You're so focused on the core of the base, I kind of lost track of the Bats there. It seemed like they did decent damage, but only 60% of this base is down, so maybe it wasn't nearly enough.
Yeah, well, you lost track of them during the attack. I didn't even realize they were in the composition in the beginning of the attack, so you did better than I did there, but you're right. Things did really fizzle out in the core of the base. That single target Inferno, I mean, it's protected in a very small way. There's no space around it. It's not an island, but it's protected enough with that dead space in front of it to try and to be able to stay up. I mean, I believe we've seen his base before, or one similar, or a design similar to this, and that Inferno Tower has been really solid, but they are coming through. It's not over yet. There's one healer. Okay, now it's getting more close to over as that Warden is being targeted. Not much is left, but it's going to be a mid 80% 2-star with those archers, possibly a couple of cleanup troops on the outside. We're getting there. 2-star. Did he take the risk?
There. Man, I think he did. And again, if this is what you're asking for, again, you can't ask for much more than this. You're literally going up against one of the best teams in all of North America, and a task has been put in front of you. You have to triple. You have to do literally the best attack you've ever done in your life. You have to play the best clash you've ever done in your life. And in some situations, just can't quite get it done. There's really not a whole lot else to say about that. They're now in a really rough position. They've got it. They absolutely have to triple this final war. And they have to hope that SSG gets 2 just disastrous attacks here, because they are up in terms of percentage. They're up in terms of stars. This is a rough situation if you're an ESL NA Cup fan.
Yeah, it is. But anything could happen, right? I mean, if we go by what we've seen so far tonight from Space Station, it's not looking good. But crazier things have happened. 1-stars do happen sometimes. We'll have to see. Let's check out what SSG John has, and he's coming in with dragons this time. He saw so much success with the Sui Lalo that we saw in the last war. This one, is not a Suilalo. It's a drag bat. Only 4 balloons as well. So coming in with that dragon power, the bats across the back end. Let's see.
I love it. I love it. I mean, the risk you run when you run this attack is that you accidentally draw out some of these air defenses with your dragons. And if they hit your bats, it can be disastrous. But at the same time, if you play it well and you get a little bit lucky, the dragons can actually tank for your bats, which is some of the best play that I've seen. So it's a high risk, high reward strategy. Neither one of these teams pulling any punches. Let's see if they can do it here, bringing out all these heroes, trying to get this first star on the town hall. The funnel is being set. Echo, here we go.
Yeah, the queen is gonna. I mean, there are a few wall breakers there. There's also an open compartment. The queen could turn. I'm looking at the back end of the base and trying to look at where the splash damage is. And there's only that one wizard tower up north. A lot of the other wizard towers are down below here. So if the dragons can come on in and take out a lot of this splash, but the queen does not get the town hall. But I mean, we have dragons. I mean, and there's a stone slammer, so we could get that in there and secure that.
But it was one attack. You don't want to, though.
You don't want to, but at least the security is here. So the slammer is going to get it with 1 drop, if it even gets its drop. There we go.
Oh,
and
no.
Now the drags and loons are going to come in with that grand warden. A little bit of freeze. Where are the bats going to come in? The scatter shots need to be. Oh, it's a bat bomb. I was expecting a wave, as you like to call it, but it's the bat bomb actually taking out the scatter shot and that wizard tower. So it did work fairly nicely. Let's see how far these bats can path. They are split and kind of spread across this base. Dragons, bats on the eagle. Balloons are still alive in this attack, which is not usually the case. There are a couple hanging on, and well, bats are just about done. There's a lot to get through on the back end of this base. I don't know that John's going to see the 3-star he's looking for, but the dragons, they are powerful. They are tanky. They do take down one of the single target Inferno towers. They're working on the second. They do get it down. 1 air defense left. 2 dragons upon it. And look at this. The healthier dragon is being targeted. The other one finally does go down. It's going to be a pretty high percentage 2-star on this one. Even if they were to take down all the defenses, I think time would be an issue. But nice attack. Nice attack. Not a triple, but a nice attack.
But little things like he lured the ice golems out over to the other side, so they were totally out of the way for the duration of this attack, which allowed these dragons to get even more value. That's little things like that are just really nice. You talk about how strong of an air attacker John is, and again, we've seen him do like wonders with Suilalo, again, like rivaling Rigatoris with the Suilalo. But even with this time fail, really solid hit coming in either way. I'm definitely a big fan of that. I want to see John continue to do this and continue to set trends in the world of air attacks, because, you know, having another top tier NA player that can pull that off is really sick to see. I know I'm watching this thing, I'm learning things every time.
I know. And it's, you know, for us watching as casters, we miss so many things. I'm looking for the bats, and then I missed those ice golem getting pulled, which was so important in the attack. And this is why people can use spotters and things to help them with these things that you may miss. If it's this hard for us to catch it sometimes while we watch, think about how hard it is to actually execute it yourself when you're attacking. So much more difficult than being in our position. That was a clutch play, pulling those ice golem off to the side. And now we have Acid coming in against Ghost, coming in with a queen charge dragon attack. No bats in this one. It looks like it's just going to be a powerful charge, followed up by some powerful drags coming through, starting out with that charge in the eastern side of the base. And, you know, we have another one of these welcoming compartments where the queen can just walk her way in there. And we have Acid doing a nice job getting that queen to path that way. She should step on in once that archer tower goes down. And the king, obviously setting that funnel, utilizing the
wall breaker.
Primal Kings. Yep, here it comes. And there we go, opening up that compartment. That should be you should feel pretty good about pulling in that town hall right now. A couple of skeleton traps there as well. It's going to slow down the queen, but she only is dealing with expos. There's no single infernos. There's no scatter shots. Keep her raged up. She should be okay. Or come in with a freeze. That works too. Notice that town hall is frozen. Yeah, securing it. Grabbing, that's going to secure the 1. You know you're grabbing a 2, but remember, Carbon, and we all spoke about taking the risk. Is the risk being taken right here for that 3? Is he going to grab it? And he's going to be able to take out 2 sweepers as well, which is really important.
Yeah, this is huge. Unfortunately, that 1 archer tower being so annoying, taking down the healers, and now the rest of the dragons are coming on through. The queen has done her work, the damage with Eagle Artillery. the scatter shots. Those are the things that still need to be dealt with, and they're just sort of making this cocoon of horribleness in the middle of this base for Ghost. This is the haunted house of everyone's nightmares if you're trying to get a 3-star hit in Clash of Clans, and Acid's going to be the one to do this, dissolving his opponents. Thank you to whoever pointed that out in chat. Not melting, not burning, dissolving the defenses of his opponents, but in this case, it's actually burning because there's fires, because there's dragons. But here we go. Now with the push, denying the Eagle Artillery Barrage with that Eternal Tome. 9 seconds of invulnerability. You have 9 seconds to go to town on your opponent's base, and that's what we're seeing here. The dragons are still alive, shutting down, only a couple shots getting out from that salvo, and still, can these dragons get it done?
Oh my God, did you just see those back-end balloons tank for that wizard tower, allowing the other balloons to come on in after the freeze? That was a beautiful play. This is going to clearly be a 3-star, a gorgeous attack from Acid, doing literally everything right on this one, having, I believe, every single dragon that he started with in the attack is still up right now. That was a gorgeous hit.
Oh my, I think he maybe lost one. Maybe. That is, like, you have, like, swag hero abilities, and you have, like, swag spells, but to keep every single one of your primary unit alive for the duration of an attack, that is its own level of skill right there. Beautiful play coming in from Acid at the end to bring the team up, which means that they're tied in terms of stars. If SSG 1-star fails here, or if they pull off like a 51% 2-star, there is a chance. I need to find the actual math. We can maybe get the actual math. I think there's a chance here that ESL NA Cup could actually still take this.
Yeah, it's closer than Space Station wants to be right now. I mean, that 3-star was clutch. It was a gorgeous hit, and it was really important for that to happen. But yeah, a 3-star wins it for SSG, a high percentage 2-star, but you have to clearly avoid the 1, and you don't want a low percentage 2. Again, I don't know the math either. We may get it shot into our ears soon. But we have Boone coming in from Space Station with the hybrid. Look at this. 1 super wall breaker, 8 regular wall breakers as well. Early blimp. Is he going to try and take this town hall down early on here? Let's see. It looks like it with the rage spell coming in with the blimp, securing the 1-star. Okay, so the 1-star's done. Right. So the hope of a 1-star fail is just about out of the woods. And well, the hybrid's going to be following in, but we got to get this queen charging first. That was actually a really smart play when you want to make sure that you don't do a like a.
And I'm getting word in our ears. Thank you so much to our amazing production team here at the ESL Mobile Open. 61% is a tie, 62% for the win. That is what they are aiming for here. That is all Boone needs. 62% on any other day in any other situation. But like, yeah, no problem. He can do this. But the pressure, the nerves, the final attacker here, and your chance to go to the finals is on the line. It all comes down to one final attack. 62% is the number. If you were, again, in 3rd grade on your spelling test, 62%. You can do that, team. I think you can do that. But still, when the nerves come into play, it is anyone's game. Let's find out, Echo, if he's going to be able to get it done here. This queen charge is doing work to start this off.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know the last time that I did math on a spelling test when I was in elementary school. But either way, the queen charge is looking pretty good as she walks her way around. I mean, this is looking nice so far. Yeah, we got to get her in there. But there's a lot of structure I'm seeing on the outside as well that could be picked away. So 62% is the key number. And if you're looking at a strategy, the queen goes down to that single target Inferno, and that is not what he wanted to happen. I mean, talk about making it sit on the edge of your seat towards the end right here. Nice job with the heal spell, toming through that. We have the scatter shot right in the core of the base. The hybrid is making their way through, as is that single target Inferno stayed up much longer. But Boone is trying to get this one done. He knows what he's got to do. He's about to pull in the 2-star. Oh my goodness. The hogs are there.
Here we go.
We are going. They have a champion ability intact as well.
I think
we have some troops already. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. That's a 60%. That's the 62% right there, which means that Space Station Gaming has taken themselves out of the lower bracket, and they will be moving forward as long as the math is right. They will be moving forward and taking on Coastal Clash on the back of Boone's high percentage, or 70-something percent 2-star, the high enough percentage to move forward. That was exciting. I was nervous for a few seconds there when that queen went down and the hybrid went in, but wow. Space Station has fought their way through what you called the gauntlet just a few weeks ago, how difficult it was to get through that lower bracket.
Oh my goodness, that was closer than it needed to be. 86.6% to 89.4, less than 3% separating these teams, both with 12 stars apiece. This has been, without a doubt, the best upper bracket, the best lower bracket, the most competitive games we have ever seen. The state of competitive Clash of Clans in North America is looking bright if we continue to have teams like this show up season after season. And the best part is, Echo, we're not done. The grand final still has to happen. These teams have some time to prepare. They can go back. They can relax a little bit. They can grind out some attacks. They can practice these bases for our grand finals. I cannot wait for that. But you know what? We celebrated the Coastal Clash getting there with an interview with Matty J. And now Jethro, we have an interview with him as well to celebrate this win. Let's take a look. I'm here with Jethro from Spacestation Gaming, who has just qualified for our finals for the ESL Mobile Open. I guess first and foremost, it's the cliched question, but I have to ask, how are you feeling about that win?
Oh, it feels great. The competition this season was insane. So to pull through with the win and get into the finals, it means a lot to us, and we're super proud of the guys for sure.
Because you guys got knocked down fairly early on in the scheme of things, but you guys, again, we called last season a gauntlet, but this season, you're not kidding. So many great teams. Was there ever a point where you doubted that you could make it to the finals?
Oh, I mean, later on in the losers bracket, every war was a challenge, and honestly, you know, we struggled with some of the clans as well. So for us to come on top means a lot, and it definitely was a struggle. Getting first rounded by the 32 seed when we were the first seed was definitely a wake up call for us. So for us to pull through, we grinded it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I said before, you guys were in for quite a treat in the lower bracket, but you were able to pull through. You were able to persevere. What is it about your squad that you guys never look like you go on tilt? There's never really an attack that I think, ooh, I don't know, the mistakes were there. You guys generally seem to be pretty clean. What is it about your squad that allows you guys to just keep calm under pressure?
So I would say that our team chemistry is definitely what makes us a better team. We're able to lean on each other when we need it or help each other with whatever, even just the calming of the nerves during like a last minute hit or last minute attack or a needed triple. Since we're all close friends, it really makes it easier to kind of plan out the war and plan out every single hit and get the job done.
Yeah, it really shows in this gameplay. It seems like the communication you guys have going on is super impressive. And again, like I said, you've now qualified for the finals, so it is all paid off. Before I say goodbye, before I let you go celebrate your victory, do you have any final words for your fans?
I would just say thanks for sticking with us throughout, you know, even after having a tough loss the first war. But I do want to thank one of my biggest fans. His name is Buck, and he's part of the Space Station Gaming team, and he's pushed through with us the entire way. And he's a great clasher, but he's an even better person.
I love it. I love to hear it, man. Congratulations once again on your victory. See you in the finals.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For the record, guys, that is the most wholesome way to end an interview I have ever heard. My goodness, mobile esports, everybody. You love to see it. Just all smiles from Jethro with the crew over at SSG. Carbon Fin, before we get too far away from this war, while it's still fresh in our minds, let's look back for our Xperia highlight from that attack, from that war, I should say. Which attack did you want to take a look at?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of triples, but we're going to jump into Agent's attack here. And this was an unbelievable queen charge into Hogs, and he ended up swagging a free spell of how strong this was. So let's take a look. Dropping this queen right down here at 6 o'clock. And he has a combination of sneak goblins and a super wall breaker, which is really nice, especially if you don't use that super troop from the previous week. Queen's going to be able to charge straight into this town hall section, and the value that she's going to get, the single target inferno, the clan castle allure, a scatter shot, the town hall, a bomb tower. Every single one of those buildings is something that would be devastating to hogs, and that's why this charge was so valuable. If this bomb tower was probably moved somewhere else on the space, it would have been a lot deadlier against hogs, but Agent recognizing that this queen charge was so valuable in here, and plus the sweeper was not pointing back onto these healers in this direction to keep the queen alive. And actually, just barely, the healers actually went that way, but one shot down it goes. Tornado Trap brings the queen a little bit closer to this town hall. But look at the Sisu lure. Gonna be able to get the Archer Tower, the Scatter, and everything through here. King cleared this whole bottom side, and then it made a beautiful path for the Hogs to go straight for the Seagull Artillery. He's just being patient to make sure that this Town Hall does go down, drops the freeze, saves onto that Queen ability. Once he's like, all right, the Town Hall is down, I can drop that Siege Barracks with the P.E.K.K.A up top, and he's going to send those Hogs right in between. The Queen clears the Clan Castle, no problem, with the poison. And then he's going to pop this Grand Ward Internal Tome nice and early to protect these Hogs as they go step up into this section, which he was thinking maybe there's some giant bombs right after that Eagle Artillery gets through here with another heal he can use up top. Freezes beautifully through this scatter shot. There's the heal spell. Queen stays alive, aggroes this Expo down here, so won't even be on these Hogs. Plus, more Hogs come out of the Clan Castle. Just such a beautiful attack. Doesn't even need to use this freeze spell. And an overwhelming 3-star right here with the Queen Charge Hogs. And that's why I've said the Queen Charge Hogs, I think, is stronger than the Hybrid, but the Hybrid is a safer attack strategy, because the miners can activate the Town Hall and get you the 2-star if possible, if needed. But man, unbelievable attack. Agent absolutely takes that base down, swags that freeze, doesn't need it, and helps push SSG to the finals to take on Coastal Clash.